Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of What If Goku Was in Naruto. As promised, I will release a video every day for a week, so let's begin. Last time we left off after the first fights of the Chunin exams and the start of Goku vs Shikamaru. With that out the way, let's continue with the story. As the match began, Goku and Shikamaru stood motionless, sizing each other up. The crowd held its collective breath, waiting for the first move. Goku's eyes glinted with intensity, his senses extending in all directions, feeling the chakra currents of the arena. Goku decided to make the first move. He vanished from his spot, appearing right in front of Shikamaru in an instant, catching even the sharpest spectators by surprise. His speed was akin to Rock Lee's when he shed his weights. Goku's fist was poised to strike, but Shikamaru's analytical mind kicked into gear. He quickly formed a few hand seals and executed his shadow possession jutsu. However, Goku's unique eyes didn't just sense chakra, they also perceived the intricacies of jutsu at an accelerated rate. In a split second, he analyzed the chakra patterns of Shikamaru's technique and twisted his body just enough to dodge the shadow's grasp. The crowd gasped in astonishment as Goku's movements defied expectation. Shikamaru frowned, recognizing that this wasn't going to be an ordinary fight. He formed another set of seals and unleashed his shadow imitation jutsu. Shadows shot out toward Goku, but Goku wasn't so easily ensnared. Goku's eyes blazed with the intensity of his unique dojutsu. As the shadows reached him, he finished a combination of hand signs, snake ram monkey boar horse tiger yelling fire style fireball jutsu, shooting a massive fireball jutsu. The light produced by the jutsu prevented the shadow jutsu moving further and also forced Shikamaru to jump to the side to dodge the attack, getting grazed on his left arm slightly. Shikamaru couldn't believe his eyes. His once trusty jutsu had been countered so easily. But he wasn't one to give up easily. With a sly grin, he made a series of hand seals that would activate a trap he had prepared at the start of the match. Explosive tags hidden throughout the arena detonated in rapid succession, releasing a wave of smoke that engulfed the battlefield. In the midst of the smoke, Goku's senses were put to the test. But with his enhanced chakra perception aspect of his eyes, he saw through the deceptive veil. He detected Shikamaru's position and launched a series of fire-style jutsu in that direction, dispersing the smoke and forcing Shikamaru to retreat. As the smoke cleared, Goku emerged, his eyes now focused and determined. Shikamaru realized he had to come up with a new strategy. He analyzed Goku's movements, recognizing his incredible speed and mastery of jutsu. With a plan in mind, Shikamaru formed a complex set of seals, and a web of shadows shot out from his body, ensnaring Goku's arms and legs. But Goku smirked, increasing the concentration of chakra in his muscles, resisting the binding, forcing his way out, disrupting Shikamaru's hold. Goku broke free from the shadows and closed the distance between them in an instant. He formed hand seals, and bolts of lightning erupted from his hands, crackling with power. Shikamaru barely had time to react, but his quick thinking saved him. He manipulated the shadows around him to create a wall out of the debris formed by the explosion, absorbing the lightning's impact. The two opponents stood facing each other, both breathing heavily. The arena was filled with tension, the spectators watching in awe of the battle's intensity. "This is exciting," Goku admitted, his voice filled with respect. Likewise, Shikamaru replied, a small smirk forming on his face. "But this is becoming such a drag, so it's time to end this." Shikamaru's shadow surged forward, merging into a massive, twisting form that lunged at Goku. Goku's eyes shifted, and he focused his chakra to his palms. He slammed his hands into the ground, sending a shockwave of energy through the arena. The shockwave disrupted the shadows, sending them dispersing into smoke. Goku leaped into the air, his eyes gleaming with a mix of determination and exhilaration. Shikamaru looked up, readying himself for Goku's final assault. With a roar, Goku's hands crackled with lightning mimicking the Chidori from Kakashi in the waves. He spiraled downward, aiming a devastating strike at Shikamaru. But just as Goku was about to make contact, Shikamaru's expression shifted to one of pure focus. He formed a single hand seal, catching Goku midair, in with multiple shadow paralysis jutsu from behind, underground through the tunnel Goku had formed when he created that shockwave. Goku's lightning strike froze inches from Shikamaru's face, the lightning suspended in midair. Shikamaru had manipulated Goku into moving into the shadow casted from the arena close to the walls, empowering his shadow power, uses jutsu's grip by several magnitudes. Shikamaru's voice echoed in Goku's ears, "Impressive abilities you have there. But I've got one last trick up my sleeve." Goku would attempt to break free, however he was unable to this time. Only being able to loosen the grip enough to free a hand, allowing him to perform a one-handed rat tiger dog ox rabbit tiger hand sign, yelling fire release. Phoenix Sage fire technique, shocking the crowd as one-handed jutsu required massive chakra control, however Goku was nowhere near mastering it. So his attacks were far weaker than if he had used both hands, however enough to disrupt Shikamaru's shadow shuriken jutsu, redirecting the shurikens to just graze his cheeks. Having inefficiently used his chakra with that prior attack, the grip tightened once again, preventing Goku from moving. Shikamaru would then walk towards Goku to end the fight, however Goku would tell him not to get cocky just yet as the ground suddenly collapsed in front of Shikamaru as a shadow clone leaped out of the ground at the speed of lightning, punching Shikamaru square in the chin before he could react. The force of Goku's strike sent Shikamaru crashing into the arena floor, raising a cloud of dust. As the dust settled, Goku stood victorious, his breath heavy and his body covered in scratches and dirt. Shikamaru struggled to sit up, a mixture of exhaustion and admiration in his eyes. "You're something else," Shikamaru admitted, a rueful smile on his face. Goku offered a hand to Shikamaru, helping him to his feet. "You too. That was an incredible fight." Goku would then explain that when he placed his palm on the ground to create the shockwave, while the dust was still in the air, he buried a shadow clone in the ground just in case he was captured again and unable to escape. Then looking at Naruto in the crowd, stating that the attack was inspired by his final move against Neji, calling it the total opposite as Naruto used a shadow clone as bait and buried himself, while he had used himself as bait and buried a shadow clone. The two warriors exchanged nods of respect as the crowd erupted in cheers, their battle forever etched in the annals of the Chunin exams. Having emerged victorious from his intense battle against Shikamaru, Goku's body was bruised and battered, but his spirit remained unbroken. As the crowd continued to roar with excitement, the next challenger stepped onto the arena, Tumrai, the fierce wind-wielding kunoichi from the Sand Village. Goku exchanged a quick glance with Tumrai, acknowledging the impending clash. He had seen her in action before and knew that underestimating her would be a grave mistake. Tumrai wasted no time. With a swift twirl of her giant fan, she summoned a powerful gust of wind that spiraled toward Goku. The wind roared, sending debris flying in all directions. Goku's unique dojutsu allowed him to sense the oncoming attack even before it reached him. As the wind enveloped him, Goku's eyes flickered, and his chakra surged. With a burst of energy, he released a protective fireball jutsu, deflecting the wind and debris. The two elemental forces clashed, creating a dazzling display of flames and gusts that swept through the arena. Tumrai landed gracefully a distance away, her fan poised for her next move. Goku's senses were heightened, his gaze locked onto his opponent. He focused his chakra, ready to retaliate. In a split second, Goku dashed forward, his speed rivaling the wind's ferocity. Tamarai reacted quickly, unfurling her fan to counter Goku's advance. As Goku closed the gap, Tamarai swung her fan, releasing a whirlwind that sliced through the air like a blade. Goku's enhanced perception allowed him to anticipate the attack's trajectory. With a fluid movement, he channeled his chakra to his limbs and performed a series of precise dodges and acrobatics, weaving through the slicing wind with astonishing agility. He reached Tamarai, his fist coated in crackling lightning. Tamarai's eyes widened as she realized Goku's incredible speed and evasion skills. She barely had time to react as Goku's lightning-infused Chidori landed squarely on her fan, sending an electric surge through the metal, creating a hole in it. The impact was jarring, causing her grip to falter. Seizing the opportunity, Goku unleashed a flurry of close-quarter strikes, his fists a blur. Tamarai tried to defend herself with her fan, but Goku's barrage was relentless. With a final uppercut, Goku sent Tamarai soaring into the air. As Tamarai struggled to regain her balance mid-air, Goku formed a series of hand seals. Channeling his chakra into his palms, he released a powerful fireball that roared toward Tamarai, leaving a trail of flames in its wake. Tamarai's eyes glinted with determination as she twisted her fan, manipulating the currents of wind around her. The flames met the wind, creating a vortex of fire and air that engulfed Tamarai. She used the swirling wind to guide her descent, spiraling down gracefully amidst the blazing inferno. With a final flourish, Tamarai slammed her fan into the ground, summoning a colossal gust that extinguished the flames and sent shockwaves through the arena. The wind forced Goku to brace himself, but he stood unwavering, his eyes fixed on Tamarai. Tamarai stood with her fan at the ready, her breath heavy but her resolve unbroken. She had weathered Goku's onslaught and had proven herself a fierce adversary. Goku acknowledged Tamarai's strength with a nod of respect. "You're not someone to be taken lightly. Let's see what else you've got." Goku then charged at Tamarai, once again dodging multiple wind strikes from Tamarai. However, due to her fan being damaged, the attacks were not as powerful. Appearing before Tamarai, Goku disarmed her, grabbing her arm, then twisting his body, and slamming her to the ground over his shoulder, with the impact creating a small crater, knocking her out. Once again the crowd roared with excitement, cheering for Goku, as he was announced the winner of the fight. Gaara vs Saiyan came around again. This was the battle that the crowd had been looking forward to. Saiyan had arrived just in time to see the end of Goku's fight. During the fight, Saiyan demonstrated that his speed had vastly increased, to the point where the sand guarding Gaara could not keep up. Saiyan also demonstrated Chidori, a technique he had learned from Kakashi and Kakashi's only original technique, to injure Gaara. However, just before Saiyan could finish the fight, the Sand Village would begin their assault against the Leaf Village, putting all the spectators to sleep with a genjutsu. However, Sakura managed to wake up Goku and Naruto. Like usual, Naruto, Sakura, and Shikamaru would go after Saiyan and Gaara. However, this time, Goku would also be there, deciding to help the third Hokage fight Orochimaru. Despite that, just before he could enter the fight, a barrier is put up, preventing Goku from helping, so he fights the Sand Ninja attacking around the village, taking on multiple at a time using shadow clones. Eventually he would see the one-tailed beast Shukaku in the forest where Naruto went to fight. Fearing that it might be too much for Naruto to handle, Goku would open the first 3 gates, drastically increasing his speed, allowing him to arrive at Naruto's location just as the fight was ending. Catching Naruto from falling, all while closing the gates, feeling the exhaustion and strain on his body. Naruto would then ask Goku to bring him closer to Gaara, placing him next to him, allowing Naruto to talk to the semi-conscious Gaara. A few minutes later, the leaf would defeat all the sand ninja in the village and Lord Third would sacrifice his life to seal away Orochimaru's jutsu, forcing him to retreat. With the threat now over, Goku would carry Naruto back to the village, collapsing outside the hospital due to using the gates. He would then wake up in the hospital a day after, being informed about the passing of the third Hokage, cursing himself for being too slow to help him. Swearing to train even harder so he can protect everyone he cares about. Goku would then resume his training, deciding to tag along with Naruto and Pervy Sage, to locate Lady Tsunade, due to being told he could learn a powerful new jutsu. Okay guys, this will be the end of this part of What If Goku Was in Naruto. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like, commenting, subscribing and hitting the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload. With that out of the way, I hope to see you all tomorrow for part 3. This is Demonic Saiyan signing out. Bye.